We got all the best people in this programme. Lucy Watts from Benfleet has an MBE, a charity ambassador, and helps others whenever possible. She also has a life-limiting illness, and the doctors don't really know what it is, though we'll talk about that in a second. They're getting closer to a diagnosis. She also owns an assistance dog called Molly, who she trained herself with help from the charity Dog Assistance in Disability. Lucy's here to talk about how Molly helps her and the vital role that she plays in her life, and she's with us. Lucy, good to meet you.
Nice
And good to see Molly.
Yes, Molly. Can you speak? Speak. Speak. Go on then.
Dogs are terrible with microphones around.
Come on.
Hey, Molly.
Speak.
Yeah,
there you go.
Thank you. We have to
go.
Good. Interesting. There's a range of things I wanted to ask you. We can talk about the illness in a second, but I didn't know, and you can slap me for this, Lucy, I didn't know about assistance dogs in that respect. Everybody talks about guide dogs, etc. Tell me a wee bit more about assistance dogs and how you got Molly, and how Molly more or less trained with you, is that right?
Yeah, so she was bought as a family pet. She was bred to be a gun dog and bought as a family pet. But when she was 10 months old, A.I.D took us on, and I trained her myself with help from the charity. So they partner the dog and owner with a trainer, so the dog and owner are actually doing all the work, but the trainer supports them through, and obviously they get assessed. So then obviously over time you build up that kind of bond, and you build up the level of training, and until you qualify, and then obviously Molly now can come everywhere with me.
What does Molly do then? Give me some of the things that she can do.
So she can pick up dropped items, load and unload the washing machine, she can press lift and door buttons, she can undress me, and she also alerts 3 to 4 hours before my temperature spikes as well. So she gives me vital warning of an impending infection.
It's not even as it happens, 3 to 4 hours before. How will you recognise that? What is...
Well, it took a long time. I noticed when I was getting poorly, she'd start licking, but when I say licking, like in a trance, so she'd lick my hands, but if I moved my hand away, she'd follow it. And then she'd go and sit with my mum and keep fussing around my mum and running between my mum and my room. And after a little while, I started to realise every time she did that, a couple of hours later, I was really poorly. And obviously, now I know what she's doing. She's never been wrong.
And do you spike, your temperature spike on a regular basis?
Not at the moment, but I have 4 infections, and I do regularly suffer life-threatening septicemia from infections. So
Right.
she gives us that vital warning to get to London to my specialist team or get antibiotics prescribed.
The assistance dog, are they a larger organisation now? Are they, obviously this is their awareness week. Clearly they want to get more people involved doing it.
Yeah, so there's 7 charities, I think 8 now actually, 8 charities as part of Assistance Dogs UK. There's other charities outside of Assistance Dogs UK, and people may train the dog completely themselves, so they're completely independent. But A.I.D, who trained Molly, they're a very small charity. They run on, a fraction of the income of guide dogs, but do just as much good work. But they're also unique in the sense that they take the bond that's already formed between a dog and their owner, and they then enhance that. And they empower the disabled person. It's extremely empowering for you and your dog to achieve that yourselves.
I never thought of that. The fact that you get some, not only the benefits, physically, but also the pride of seeing a dog develop. Whilst it's a teamwork thing.
It is, yeah. So every time Molly and I achieved a new thing, that was our work. It was our achievement, and it's something to take pride in.
Tell me a wee bit about your condition, because I'm interested in this fact. You blogged about Charlie Gard. Listeners, you'll remember that the very sad story about the wee boy in Great Ormond Street who had a mitochondrial condition. I can't remember the exact name, but you kind of related that because your condition's mitochondria related as well.
It might be. So I was diagnosed with a condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a problem with the collagen. But it didn't make sense, and things went beyond and beyond and beyond until last year someone actually referred me to a new consultant who said, I don't actually think you've got Ehlers-Danlos, I think you've got a neuromuscular disease, and one of the ones we're looking at that's very likely is a mitochondrial disease. It's completely different to Charlie's, obviously, because his was, it was like an infantile kind of condition. He was born with it, and although I was born with my condition, obviously I lived a relatively normal life until I was 14. And since then my gut's failed, my bladder's failed, my lungs have become affected, the autonomic nervous system's affected, so I'm fed through a line into my heart. I've got other tubes and bags, obviously I'm in a wheelchair, and my condition is life limiting. It will shorten my life. I've been in receipt of palliative care for 6 years now.
It's amazing. How do you get through the days then?
Molly is a big part of my life. Obviously, my day kind of revolves around her. I get up, get into my wheelchair, take her for a walk, and it might take 2 hours just to get me out of bed. But to see her running on that common and to get out in the fresh air, I call that like me time. So I'm not in bed, I'm not in the prison of my bedroom, I'm just out with my dog, having fun, enjoying myself. But also my charity work. I mean, I do it because it's the right thing to do, because it helps other people, but it's a big part of my coping mechanism. People don't realise how much I need that.
Yeah.
Because distraction is the best form of pain relief. I mean, I'm on a very high dose of fentanyl, which is a painkiller like morphine, but at the same time, distraction is a big part of, my coping mechanism. And if I can bury myself in work, I'm not thinking about the pain, I'm not thinking about what's going on, I'm not thinking about the prognosis, I'm just doing that work, enjoying myself and forgetting what's going on.
How do you think other people cope with you being in a wheelchair and being so articulate? And do you think, do you get that classic one of kind of looking down at you and kind of oh, she's in a wheelchair kind of thing?
People, I think, underestimate you. Well, I think when I went to Buckingham Palace to receive my MBE...
Nice name drop, by the way. Nice name drop.
Yes.
Did you hear that clang there? Did you hear it? Yeah, when was this?
2016 in June. But everyone thought my grandma was the one that was getting the award and was so surprised when my mum and grandma went, no, actually, it was Lucy. And they just kind of looked, because I was 22 at the time, they kind of looked. A, I was 22, which people think is too young. B, I'm in a wheelchair, which means people underestimate you. And C, it just wasn't, people weren't expecting it. So they were a bit, I suppose, dumbstruck in a way that it's her.
Yeah.
She's the one that's got it.
Who gave you the MBA then? Who was it?
Prince Charles.
Oh, nice.
And he actually stepped off the stage to be on my level, which I thought was really, I thought there'd be this kind of divide between me and him, but he treated me as an equal. He stepped off the stage, and for those, minute or so, however long it was, I felt like the only person in the room.
Oh, that's brilliant. The Charlie Gard thing, I just wondered whether you get any thoughts about this idea of, because we've talked about designer babies and we can actually identify illness and conditions before a child is born and things. What do you think about that idea? It's almost like trying to create the perfect human world, really. What do you think?
Well, I can understand. Obviously, no one wants their child to be disabled. No one wants their child to be sick and to suffer. But I'm a bit it worries me a little bit, because I think we're going to lose such wonderful people based on their condition. They're going to be different people, and a lot of people will tell you that their condition has made them a better person. Mine certainly has. And I think sometimes, I don't think things happen for a reason, but sometimes things just work out for the better. So you can go through horrendous circumstances and you can turn it into something positive. So it's great that we can try and prevent illnesses, and I get that, but I think we'll miss out on a lot of people that could add a lot of colour, I suppose, to the world.
What's the future now then? And thank you for coming in, and we'll have you in again, because I like your views about the world, but also when we're dealing with things like illnesses and children, etc. What's the plans then in the near future and the far distance?
Just to keep doing my work, to make a bigger impact, to kind of spread awareness and spread the message, I suppose, that disabled people can bring. I'm also trying to set up an organisation at the moment for young adults with complex conditions, so that's in my pipeline, and just to continue doing my work and make a difference. More
power to you. Seeing as I want to find out if Molly is really as clever as you say, and then Lucy, I've got Madness, It Must Be Love, or Rock DJ by Robbie Williams. Can you ask Molly which one I picked then?
Molly, which one do you want? Which one? Speak. You can speak. Come on, what's it matter? Speak. Yeah.
Robbie Williams?
Yeah. That one? You're not going to speak today, no? Come on, speak. There you go.
Robbie Williams. Lucy Watts, great to meet you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.